This episode is sponsored by Ground News. Hi, welcome to another episode of ColdFusion.
People who are starting companies today or starting tech companies today, they're kind of taking the same methodology as you would do 40 years ago before the consumer internet became a thing. Can't we build a new type of company together with the community out there? I think that prospect is really, really exciting.
This is Carl Pei, co-founder of the smartphone company OnePlus and CEO of the Nothing Company. For this episode, I'm trying something new. For the first time, we're bringing on a CEO and interviewing them for their perspective. So you've probably all noticed that over the past few years, smartphones aren't as exciting as they used to be. Sure, there are flip phones and foldables, and they're very exciting, but aside from that, not a lot has changed. For the past couple of years, a name you might not expect, Nothing, has been making some buzz in the smartphone industry. The approach of this London-based startup was something that we haven't seen before. Yes, the phone designs were a little different, but it's not really about the phone. It's about something less tangible. Community. Imagine a phone brand that encourages feedback from its users and occasionally takes suggestions from their online community. I couldn't imagine Apple doing that. So instead of appearing top-down, the Nothing brand feels more grassroots in direction. In this episode, we'll explore the story of Nothing and its founder, Carl Pei, and it's an interesting look at how marketing, personality, branding, and hardware design can cut through the noise of an internet in hyperdrive. I also had the pleasure of having Carl as a guest on my podcast, so you can check that out too. So let's get into it.
You are watching ColdFusion TV.
A note before we begin, this episode wasn't sponsored by the Nothing Company. It's just a topic I'm interested in. The main theme is this: in a long saturated market, is it possible to break through and create a product that people are truly interested in? How do you go about doing such a thing? This is an episode especially for those who have been here since the origin of ColdFusion, back when I was heavily invested in showcasing the happenings in the smartphone industry. The Nothing brand only became known to the public in February of 2020. Carl sent out a cryptic tweet with just the word Nothing, and it left his followers intrigued. Was he starting a new venture? Maybe he's just bored. Others thought that he was going through a rough patch after departing OnePlus, the renowned Chinese phone manufacturer. After all, he was the co-founder of OnePlus and had been at the company for 7 years. However, it was eventually revealed that he was indeed starting a new company, and its name was Nothing. In terms of funding, from the outset, Carl secured a respectable $7 million from some notable investors. This included Tony Fadell, the inventor of the iPod, Kevin Lin, the co-founder of Twitch, Steve Huffman, the CEO of Reddit, and the popular YouTuber Casey Neistat. While the start was solid, the investment landscape took a big shift when Google Ventures poured $15 million into the company. They saw the potential in Nothing. It's also worth noting that Nothing's community investors chipped in millions of dollars, solidifying the company's path. Now, let's fast forward to 2023, and Nothing has already launched a range of products. They've introduced 2 earbuds, the Ear 1 and Ear 2, as well as 2 phones, the Phone 1 and Phone 2. In just over a year since their debut, Nothing announced that they'd sold over 1 million units worldwide. Although not as big as the major players, it still is a testament to their early success, especially in India. Over there, the Phone 1 was released in 2022, and it sold over 100,000 units in just 2 months. In September this year, Nothing achieved another milestone in India by securing a very high customer satisfaction rate. Looking at this chart, they're in second place, and only Apple is ahead of them. They've even edged out OnePlus. Nothing are an extremely niche brand. The average person only knows of Apple, Samsung, and Google. It's going to be an uphill battle for the Nothing Company, but they've managed to secure another $96 million in investment, which will no doubt help. At this point, we need to take a deeper look at the man behind Nothing, the company's CEO, Carl Pei. The Chinese-born Swedish entrepreneur has been a tech enthusiast from a young age. Carl was captivated by Steve Jobs and the Apple products of the 2000s. However, he took his fascination with technology to the next level. He decided to give up his academic pursuits and venture into the tech world. Interestingly, his parents' background in research didn't directly lead him into the world of tech entrepreneurship. Instead, he decided to carve out his own path. He was the kind of young person who turned school essays into websites because for him, this was a more fun and engaging way to express himself.
I was kind of weird as a kid. I would behave quite differently. I'll give you a few examples. Like in middle school, we would get homework. Like in chemistry class, we would have to write an essay about a certain compound. And instead of just writing the essay, I would make a music video explaining the element. Or I would make a website where you could interactively kind of learn about the element. And it was always kind of weird for me that I didn't get any extra credit on any of that. The teachers just marked the work as is, only the essay part.
Before Nothing, most of us knew him as the co-founder of OnePlus. But what many people don't know is that his journey began with a brief stint at Nokia in 2010. He would later move to China to be closer to the manufacturing hub. His fascination with MP4 players would inspire him to create a fan page for Meizu, a Chinese manufacturer of MP3 and MP4 players. Meizu's Hong Kong branch soon took notice of Carl's work, and that led to his recruitment. Later in that same year, he would join Oppo. Pai worked under the guidance of Pete Lau, serving as the international market manager. The partnership between these two eventually led to the co-founding of OnePlus, with Carl assuming the role of global director. Astonishingly, he was only just 24 years old at the time. Carl Pei's stint at OnePlus lasted for 7 years, and it was a resounding success. During his tenure, he carved out a name for himself in the tech industry. But from his perspective, the tech world was undergoing an uninspiring transformation. At this point, he decided to hit the reset button and start something new, and his fans simply rallied behind him. As for investors, they were aware of Carl's formidable track record, so they were just placing bets on his vision. And of course, the results of this would be the Nothing Company. Curiously, the name Nothing didn't come from a high-stakes corporate brainstorming session. It came from a simple chat with Carl's little sister while they were out for a walk. He'd previously thrown around names like Stone and Next, but she wasn't having it. Then he mentioned Nothing, and that got her approval, and Carl liked it too. For now, at these early stages, what Nothing is banking on setting them apart is unique design. And as for now, it's working. Admittedly, their transparent wireless earbuds do stand out. The phone's operating system, built on Android, takes a minimal approach to software. The hardware, with its unique, customizable glyphs and LED lights on the back, provides some level of functionality. If nothing else, the phones catch your attention in a crowd of rectangular slabs of metal and glass. But these very same glyphs have also been called out and criticized. But regardless of opinion, it's generally a good thing to see creativity and product design coming together for a distinctive look. To achieve design, Nothing leveraged the Swedish firm Teenage Engineering as a co-founding partner. The design company is known for their innovative playful devices like synthesizers, speakers, and cameras. Looking at their product website, their designs do stand out too, and in the end, Teenage Engineering and Nothing ended up being a great synergy. With all of that being said, design, like fashion, is ever-changing and subjective. What's hot today might not be next season. So Carl is making sure that Nothing isn't putting all of their eggs in the design basket. As a matter of fact, they want to build an ecosystem of products that work seamlessly together, something akin to Apple's approach. Moreover, Nothing has also launched a budget-friendly sub-brand called CMF, which stands for Color, Material, and Finish. It's all about making consumer tech stylish while being affordable without sacrificing quality.
So this is exciting. This is an exclusive, an entirely new tech brand, sub-brand actually, of a company that's been making waves in the tech space. That of course is Nothing. Through this new brand, CMF, they're looking to bring that design language and that aesthetic to more people through more affordable options, including today, earbuds, power adapters, and even a smartwatch, which they're calling Watch Pro. So the earbuds are coming in at $49 USD. The watch is coming in at $69 US. The charger's coming in at $39. Again, very aggressively priced. So you look at those price points and you might be surprised, like how can they deliver? Like, are the margins for other companies extremely high? Adjusting my expectation to match the price point and in order to understand what these products are and who they're for. It's meant to bring a certain design and a certain material and a certain finish to a product and to a segment which isn't used to having it at all, which isn't used to those considerations at all. And the Nothing brand, maybe through the success of their previous products, is able to invest in a more accessible product through this new CMF brand. And who knows, maybe this entire landscape expands to include even more products in different segments.
So a question has to be asked here. How has such a new brand managed to gain so much success so quickly? If you ask anyone in the tech community what Carl Pei is known for, most of them would say it's the Pei effect. In other words, his unique marketing style. When OnePlus first entered the market, the brand's rapid rise was fueled by bold marketing initiatives that took advantage of the power of community engagement. It created a buzz that few other smartphone companies at the time could match, and Carl Pei was the mastermind behind it all. One of the most famous examples was his invite system for the OnePlus One, a phone which was initially sold only through invites. These invites were given to selected customers, influencers, and media outlets. It created a sense of exclusivity and scarcity that drove up the demand. Carl Pei is now the face of his new company Nothing, and he's doing more unique marketing. For Nothing's very first phone, Carl's approach to building anticipation wasn't the usual fast-paced tech marketing. He adopted a slow and sustained approach, revealing one feature at a time on social media. But he was doing things offline as well. For instance, before the in-person launch of the phone in London, the streets of European capitals were sprinkled with wall posters. They hung alongside gig posters, implying that this was more of a cultural event than just a tech one. In the same vein, the iconic house music group Swedish House Mafia joined forces with Nothing to create a glyph composer. Carl is also probably one of the very few tech CEOs who was directly putting out content on social media, especially YouTube. He's reviewed competitors' phones, which I find rather funny to see, but has also collaborated with the likes of Casey Neistat and MKBHD.
What is up, guys? Carl here. Today we're talking year 2.
The thinking goes that if you put your content out there for enough people to see, they'll start caring about your product. Analyzing this from a marketing point of view, the involvement of influential personalities like Casey, who also happens to be an investor, does set the company apart from everyone else. These interactions and marketing methods do seem to resonate with Nothing's core community.
We're trying to kind of pick up where innovation left off. We're trying to make the industry more fun again. This is our second step along the way. So if you want to support a small team with big ambitions and doing things differently, I think this is the phone to get.
So let me push back on that. At the end of the day, all I care about is how good is this thing in my pocket. Mm-hmm. This thing feels pretty great.
I mean, that's kind of like table stakes, right? So a phone needs to be really solid, no matter if it comes to the camera or the charging or the battery life or how smooth the system is. Like, we have to have that unlocked first before talking about anything else, like the glyph interface or that we want to bring innovation.
So you see it as a
back.
given, like this is the hardware, the phone, the experience is that good. It meets that standard.
It does. I mean, our team has decades of experience in this industry, so this is not new to us. What's new is that we're bringing innovation back to our industry.
One of the key factors behind Carl Pei's popularity among his fans is that he knows how to harness the power of community engagement. It's a strategy he followed at OnePlus and is doing it again now at Nothing. He built a loyal and passionate fan base by involving them in the product development process. He asked for feedback, suggestions, and ideas from users. This created a sense of ownership and belonging among the fans, who really do feel like they're part of the brand's journey.
People who are starting companies today or starting tech companies today, they're kind of taking the same methodology as you would do 40 years ago, before the consumer internet became a thing. I think with the internet, you can connect to anybody, anywhere. And because of the internet and information being freely available for everybody, you can have super passionate people with expert level expertise anywhere in the world. They might be on a tropical island. I think in modern society, people lack purpose. So if we're able to find these really excellent people and we're able to connect them to a purpose that they want to be a part of, then can't we build a new type of company together with the community out there? I think that prospect is really, really exciting.
Of course, there are financial benefits too. Nothing has raised millions through 2 equity crowdfunding campaigns. In a way, it does give ordinary people a chance to take a stake in Nothing's potential success.
That's why we're thrilled to be opening up the ability for you to also invest in nothing. Our first community investment round closed in less than a minute. Last time, we only had $1.5 million available. This time, we have $10 million available to make sure that more of you will get a chance.
Okay, before we continue, let's take a quick word from our sponsor, Ground News. Did you know that Biden has unveiled the American government's first ever AI executive order? It's important news, but with a figure like Biden, it can be polarizing and hard to get the full picture of the story. That's where today's sponsor, Ground News, comes in. Ground News is a website and app developed by a former NASA engineer. She was on a mission to give readers an easy, data-driven, objective way to read the news. Using the Joe Biden story as an example, we can see that 260 news outlets from around the world covered the story. Ground News' bias distribution chart shows me the political leanings of these outlets, and I can even get a summary of how the issue is being framed. The left discusses it as Joe Biden executing the executive order for the benefit of the economy, public health, and privacy, while the right frames it more as the White House doing it for civil rights, consumer protection, and jobs. Scrolling down, I can compare every single article on the topic with convenient tags showing me the context about the source, like how factual is it, and who owns it. Ground News is a fantastic tool for getting international perspectives, sifting through misinformation, and identifying media bias. They provide all the tools you need to be a critical thinker, and I find it useful in my research. And today, I'm offering 30% off their Vantage subscription. This comes with a feature called My News Bias, so you can even check how your news viewing habits change over time. Go to ground.news/ColdFusion to get started. Okay, let's get back to the episode. Carl Pays Nothing has caused quite a stir with marketing. However, the brand isn't without criticism and negative reviews. The Nothing Ear 1, in particular, faced a fair bit of backlash upon release. Complaints about bugs and other issues have been common with the phone's One release too, while others have pointed out that the flashy glyph features are just a gimmick. End of story. On an individual level, Carl too has been criticised for overhyping the products and creating unrealistic expectations.
Try to take a step back from the hype. I don't love how Nothing has handled this launch, how they've slowly revealed the design 1 centimeter at a time via social posts, how they tried to auction off a small number of them before the launch to enhance the perception of exclusivity, how they've gone to a whole bunch of influencers to partner with them for giveaways, to effectively get them to endorse the product before they've even had a chance to test it. They've basically used every free trick in the book to try and milk as much conversation about this product as possible. But the issue with that is that the expectation also goes up. Whereas in actuality, these guys haven't reimagined sound. These aren't fundamentally different to any other wireless earbuds out there.
Some have accused his products of being too close to Apple's designs and features.
It has the shape of an iPhone. Matter of fact, this is an iPhone with the brand's new something skin applied to it.
While others have questioned his environmental and ethical stance on crypto and NFTs. But having said that, building a phone hardware company in this day and age is not an easy task, and Carl does seem to be open to criticism and suggestions.
Even within our company, we have all hands meetings where all the staff attend and you can ask anonymous questions. Some of those questions are very uncomfortable to read and to have to answer. And a lot of my friends who are also founders have said, like, we don't do those anonymous questions. They're so toxic. But I refuse to remove them because I think, one, no matter online or internal, like if people complain, they care. Right? If the worst thing is that people are just, they don't care about you at all. Like they're complaining because they care and they want to see things improve. I think so that's something we have to remember. And two, you have to improve. Like if you don't improve, people are going to complain. So it kind of pushes you to get better. But you know, it does feel quite bad sometimes, you know, reading all those comments or facing up to those kind of questions. But I think you just got to believe in that it's beneficial in the long run to take the feedback and just get better.
Despite the challenge and controversies, Carl Pei remains confident and optimistic about his vision for Nothing. He believes that he can create a brand that stands out from the crowd and offers something different and meaningful to consumers. He told us on the podcast that he hopes that he can inspire other young entrepreneurs to pursue their dreams. And I think it's good for the industry. We need to see more things like this. But for him, he says that this is just the beginning. Now that they have strong investment backing and a growing team of skilled engineers and employees, we'll be able to see what Nothing is truly capable of in a few years. Perhaps tablets or laptops.
We were toying with that idea, and we have some really cool designs, but we haven't decided yet. As we mature as a company, we need to start thinking about what is it we're bringing to the table. We had the conversation about design, like is design our only differentiator? Has it worked out? Well, I think it has, but over time it needs to be more than just design. So if we were to make a laptop, what is our contribution beyond just really, really cool aesthetics, which I'm sure our team can nail? So that's a question we haven't been able to answer, and therefore there's no computer in development.
So what's your take on this? Do you think that Nothing will be able to deliver on something special? Do you use any of their products? Do you like them? Or do you think that this is all just hype, and really, it's just too late and the market is completely already saturated? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Anyway, that's all from me. My name is Dagogo, and you've been watching ColdFusion, and I'll catch you again soon for the next episode. Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
ColdFusion. It's new thinking.